Okay, guys, I'm so stoked because I'm finally going to do a brain dump on what you should be doing in stories. So, I'm going to break down this DMO. I actually made this for our students in the Digital Recruiting Academy, and I'm going to give you a little sneak peek here of um, kind of a piece of it, which is stories. So, stories have changed a lot. They've gone from posting just like, you know, 23 different things. Like, yes, you can still do that, but you're going to get more engagement, leads, results when you kind of follow these strategies. So, first off, you want to let your stories expire for like let them run for 24 hours and then expire at least for maybe a few hours or at least an hour before you post that next story, because this is going to push you to the beginning of the feed. You also want to do your reel before you do your story, because this is going to help you get engagement. And then once people engage with your reel, it's actually going to show them your story. That's a part of how the algorithm works. Because if you engage with your reel and then maybe they even come to your profile, that's going to trigger automatically for your story sequence to come up for them. So I would recommend maybe doing a reel and about 30 minutes prior to posting a story. So I'm going to walk you through some different examples and I'll explain. So here's kind of the different types that you should be doing. A lifestyle or a helpful tip. This is basically where you're maybe showcasing more lifestyle. I'm seeing less of like talking head story with captions and more like written text performing much better. And using these strategies, I'm like literally tripling at least my story views and actually getting increased leads and engagement, which triggers the algorithm to then show it to more people. Um, and so a lifestyle could be like a little family update. It could be, where you've got text on the screen and honestly longer text, because the people that take the time to read it, which not everyone will, but people who do, they're your engaged audience, they're your warmer audience, and they are going to tell the algorithm that it's good content, and the algorithm's going to push your stories out to more people. Or you can do like a helpful tip. This is like measure just value give. And then you want to ask for engagement always, because the more people that engage with your story, the more it gets pushed in the algorithm. So, are you doing a poll? Are you doing a question? Are you asking for questions? Are you giving value and having a call to action? Um, the next is doing kind of like a biz or social proof or testimony. This can range week by week. Like one week it could be a business one, the next week it could be a product one. Showcasing social proof, showcasing even like screenshots of texts that customers have sent or business partners have sent. Showcasing testimonies. Um, the next one is called a call to action post. I'm going to show you examples of these next two here. Um, a call to action post is basically where you're kind of, it's very similar to the helpful tip, but you may not be giving as much value, like massive value in the helpful tip. You may be more talking around the pains, right, that people are having and what maybe a solution would be, and then doing a call to action. And then the next is a selling sequence. You want to do this, only once a week. If you're seeing more results from one version, like let's say you have massive selling sequence results, do it again. Like add it twice in a week. Do more of what works. I think that's one of the biggest things is, even if it's just a little, like if you post a reel or a story and you get 3 comments and usually you don't get any comments, study that. What worked well? Like what made it push out to the algorithm? What type of format of content was it? What did you do in it? Did you tell a story, or did you do more video, or did you give a tip? Do more of that content now. So this is kind of an example schedule. You don't have to follow this, but this is sometimes too, I will literally pass a whole day and I'll notice when I actually don't even post a story for a day or two, when I post it next, my engagement is through the roof. So stories for me have been converting much more, doing less is more, right? And by the way, you can talk more about your personal stuff, your products, like your business and the stories. Like if you have a very product focused page, you want to keep that product base, but in your stories, it's typically where your warmer audience goes. And you can open up about a little bit more. You can, without messing up the algorithm. So, for instance, if you're like a gut health expert on your page, you're not really going to be making reels about, the business, but you could in your stories talk a little bit, about, transitioning from the product to how the business has helped you, and do a call to action around that. But this is just an example of like every week you kind of want to do a lifestyle or a helpful tip. You want to do some sort of like, this could be biz or product social proof. This is huge because this is nurturing. And with this, even you want to give a little bit of education. Like, you're going to show the social proof, but you're also going to educate people about your offer, giving them nuggets of the benefits versus the features, but the benefits of your products or business. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna go down here. So I'm gonna walk through the story selling sequence, and if you want to kind of screenshot this, you can. The first thing I want you to know is that when in your stories, you should be essentially storytelling. Literally, that's why they're called stories. You're telling stories, and put things into a sequence to sell. The top 5 reasons people buy, okay, keep this in mind, are to save time, to save or make money, to avoid pain or loss, to transform or improve, or to feel good. But you also, with all of these things, you always need trust. And that's why storytelling, being relatable, sharing your authentic story sells, because people become related to you. They trust you. And that's, you want to build strong rapport and showcase them like, hey, this is who I am. This is how I can help. So I'm going to show you an example of a story that follows this story selling sequence. And here are the 5 steps. The first is identify the problem, relate to the problem, ask a question, reveal a solution, and a call to action. I used to do these more with talking head, meaning I was talking at the camera and I would put captions, but those haven't converted as much lately as they did 2 or 3 years ago. So I'll show you examples of how I'm doing them now with um, text. So this is the first step. This is, identifying the problem, speaking to the pain. Okay, so what I did here is I was like, what should I be posting to my stories? A lot of times, hooks to my content are always things that people are talking to me about, things that my customers are asking me. Now, obviously, this is me as a network marketing coach. So for you, let's say, again, I'll just use weight loss. That's a good, easy example. It's like, what should I be eating? Like, if you're a weight loss coach or you have weight loss products and people are like, what should I be eating? What kind of workout is the best? Like, I'm always using that type of content as hooks because that's what your audience is thinking. Good marketers say what their audience is saying. Great marketers say what their audience is thinking. And sorry, I'm talking fast because I've been wanting to make this video for like months and it's 8:00 at night, but I was like, I'm going to get it done. I'm just going to get it done. My sciatica is in actually a ton of pain right now. And I'm going to go take a hot bath after this. But, you know, I'm going on a little tangent to share with you that your business is not supposed to be perfect. Okay. I have a lot of freedom, but sometimes I do work at 8:00 at night. Sometimes I work at 5:30 in the morning. It's because that's what works for me. I've got kids. And so, sometimes I get stuff done at that time so I can be more present during the day. Sometimes I'm just in busy seasons where I am like running, and that's okay because I know that builds so much leverage in the future. Like, I go in sprints. I like to work like crazy for 30, 90 days, and then I have a few months that are like super chill. And so I say this to say, don't let your excuses become obstacles. And it's okay to be messy when you're building business. Anyways, that was a little tangent. But anyways, so I've got a hook here. I like to highlight sometimes things that are really important, right? So here, because I'm talking about stories, I highlight the text in my brand color. And then I say, I hear this all the time. Now I want them to know, like, hey, this is on the next piece. When I do Instagram carousels, I always make sure on the first slide too to put like arrows. And then I do a poll. Are you struggling with making sales from stories? All I'm doing here is I want people to respond to the story, even if it's just tapping that button, because that is telling the algorithm they're engaging with me. So I say, yes, help me, or kind of tell me more. I never put like no as an option. The next one is relating to the problem. So let's go to the next here. So I tell a little story. You can do this a big bulk text. You can also break it up into like one-liners and put it kind of over. By the way, I noticed that stories, again, like I noticed that stories of my face, like people like to be see my face, like it's, I know my lashes are kind of cute. I'm totally joking. No, it's not like a thing like that. It's literally just because I think it builds trust. It's like, okay, I'm talking to Megan. She's giving me her advice right here as if she's my business coach in my living room having coffee with me. But you can break it up into like one liners, or you can put in a bulk text like this, and you're relating. So I'm like, I get it. I felt this way too. I was constantly making stories about random stuff, making stories about me doing my workouts, my videos. That's because I see everybody trying to sell health stuff, making their daily product, and that just like doesn't work as well anymore. Okay, I'm not saying you not to do it, and if it is working, keep doing that. But I'm not saying it doesn't build curiosity and to never do it. But you've got to mix it up, right? And do more storytelling like this. And so I said, left wondering, I was making a smoothie or shake, left wondering why people weren't engaging and wondering how I can make sales from my stories. I'm speaking to my audience. They're like, me too. Oh my gosh. I've been wondering the same thing, right? I know my students are wondering, how can I be better at stories? How can I get engagement? How can I get more conversations and sales from stories? My guess is maybe you felt this way too. So I relate. I let them feel, hey, I'm in the same boat. I was in the same boat. The next thing is I try to mix in asking a question before I reveal the solution. This is kind of optional, but again, I'm just trying to, like, I play around with it and trying to get more questions. I want to hear from my audience. I love polling my audience because that's now how I create content that gets high engagement and views. Okay, the next is reveal the solution. So finally, I started telling actual stories in sequences. And you'll notice too, like I'm basically doing exactly what I'm teaching, right? In this story sequence, I'm doing exactly what I teach. So typically that's the case. Like if you notice, when I tell you I'm going to teach you how to do something, I'm typically doing it in that manner. Like get really good at studying content that way. You see, it's all about taking people through a journey and not just focusing on the result. Your product, I had a typo there and I was so mad, but I was like, whatever, I'm just going to do it anyways. If somebody judges me because of that one little typo, then I'm sorry. Usually I'm making content one-handed with while I'm nursing my daughter. Um, but anyways, your product has given you, it's about walking them through the process from when you first experience the pain yourself to showcase relatability and speaking to the actual pain they're going through right now. I finally cracked the code. So, if you're watching this video too, like I did this story earlier because I knew I was going to make this video and bring this value to you. So you're getting to see, like, hopefully this is all clicking for you. Because if you responded to this story specifically, maybe you didn't, but like if you're seeing this fresh when I made this, you respond to the story. So now you're going to see, like, how can you get people to respond to your stories, right? And then you can showcase massive value and maybe even present an offer. So I finally cracked the code. Okay. Okay. And then the last one is doing a poll sticker. You could do two things. There's a call to action, which I'll explain in a second, or you could do a poll. This used to work really well. I'm bringing this back and testing it. So test different things, but it says if you want to start to learn how to start selling, I highlighted this from stories fast. I just made a quick YouTube video exactly how you can start selling from stories today. Want me to send you the video? Yes, please. Or duh, I need help with this. Right. And I got like massive engagement from this within like the first 3 or 4 hours. So that kind of walks you through this story template here. And you can take a picture of this. Um, but I hope that helps. And then the last one is the call to action one is, sometimes I'll just put, if I'm not doing a story sequence, I will literally take a whole day or two off and I'll just put one story versus doing a ton. And this is where I'm getting massive engagement as well. I think I get a little bit more engagement when I do the story, but it takes much more time to build that. But when I do these, I get way more views and engagement too. But I put our hashtags dead. So I start with a pain, and then I explain, like, still using 30 random hashtags and wondering why your content's not taking off. There's a specific strategy on how to use both Instagram versus Facebook. I was meant to say like hashtags and keywords, but whatever. DM me hashtags and I'll send you the quick brain dump. I spelled something wrong again. I just did this. I just did on all of it. I'm getting better at not having typos, but typically it's because the text is like so small and I'm nursing and it's just a million things. But um, and one last tip: when I do this, I always type all my content out in a notepad, so it's easy to just copy and paste. That way, I can look for typos better. I still missed one here, but um, and so that I can come back and then remake the same story with a different picture. So I'm almost never recreating content for the most part. A lot of my content like this is something I did from a carousel. So I turned it into a story, but I did that by going to my notes and putting it as like you know, a story like slide 1, slide 2 or whatever it is if it's just one slide. So like in a couple months I'm just recycling content that works. So if it converts, I reuse it all the time. Not all the time, but I mean, you know. Let's see. So I don't know. I hope this was helpful. I just really feel like there's so much you could do in stories and play with things, see what works, do more of what works. Like I keep saying, but um, you know, and again, make sure that you're doing a reel. You're posting your reel before you post your stories because that's going to drive more people to your stories and increase algorithm. And by the way, I know a lot of you have also asked whether maybe you've been through one of our recent challenges and, you know, maybe just you wanted to work with us, with Joan Robinson, my partner in crime, with us. And maybe our academy just wasn't right timing. We have recently put together a really stinking cool offer, and I just want to take a quick minute to tell you about it if it's cool. Is that cool? I hope that's cool. But because I just think right now in this space, like so many people just need more social media how tos, and I've started building up this massive how to library, and we've put together some of our most amazing trainings and we've actually come out with something called the Network Marketing Vault. It's pretty cool. It's a 4-part series. It's lifetime access on demand, and it's broken into social media, recruiting and sales, mindset and leadership, and bonuses. And the social media part is our Real Reels course, like that name, Real Reels course, and we kind of break down like the how to do reels that are going to attract a massive amount of followers in your niche. We also have like our automations mastery in this class. We've got recruiting is like 5 steps to recruiting, like the tactical stuff to closing more recruits and having recruiting conversation. We've got skyrocketing your sales. Like we're putting recruiting scripts in here. Um, we've got those launching soon. Joan's framework is just absolutely incredible. I can like never go back. Um, let's see here. Okay. And then we've got mindset leadership, like keys to duplication, manifest more money. The bonuses section is one of my favorites because it's just got a bunch of stuff. We're literally just adding more stuff right now. We've got like a year in a board, Trello board. I used AI to make this video. I named my AI assistant Mandy. It's pretty cool. So you might want to check that out. I can actually link later how I used that, how I created that for free. Actually, it's pretty cool. Okay, if you're building in Facebook, and these are like how the exact questions and posts that you should be asking um, in Facebook groups and your Facebook to start. I'm getting to start getting leads. Like these are this. Oh my gosh, I literally think I need to go back and rewatch this training. Um, this is how I started getting leads. I actually, when I learned this strategy, I got 150 leads the next day. Build your brand, expert marketing secrets. I mean, I could go on and on. There's just so many random how to videos like Facebook branding, like done for you Canva templates for your Facebook. It's just massive value. This is like a $997 course. And we have a pre launch special right now. So you can check out the link below. I believe, depending when you're watching this, like the pre-launch is 197. You maybe watch this at a later time when the price has gone up, but if it's 197, like massively grab it. It's going to come with the AI Money Workshop, just a bunch of cool bonuses. So, you know, if you want more how-tos, just like I gave you with the stories, and you just want this massive library of stuff that we will continue to evolve over time, of Joan and I mean, take advantage of the vault. It's absolutely, the network marketing vault is a no-brainer. We've got also a dollar trial for our social selling inner circle, where we have 2 monthly calls, so you can get some Zoom time with us, and we hope to see you in there as well. So I hope you create stories. Hey, will you do this? When you make a story from this, will you tag me? Like, that just helps me know that, man, it helps me know that, okay, there's this content is purposeful. Like, it's helping people. Go make your first story sequence, maybe, or your call to action story. Tag me in your first story that you make from this training. And I just hope that you just keep pressing on. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. See you later.